Hello, good evening, and welcome to Season 4 in 2025 of the Radical Race Series here on iRacing. We are here at Mosport Park, otherwise known as Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, of course, in Canada. My name is Edward Hunter, and joining me in commentary is our broadcast director and co-commentator, Jim Cunningham. Jim, it's very, very dark. All of our radicals have got their headlights on, both SR8 and SR10s taking part, of course, for the first time, I think, in this championship. And we have got 18 cars out there trying to just find some space and qualify, and hoping they can navigate this very, very fast course in the dark as well. So that's going to be another extra challenge before we burst them, I assume, into the daylight come the race.
I hope so. I don't know. We may this may be a night race. That could be its own level of excitement as well. Yeah, but it's good.
Surprise to both of us.
I know it is kind of. I have to say it is kind of a surprise. We just finalized the deal to broadcast this series just a day or so ago, so we didn't have a lot of time to take care of things like that. But I'm going to let Edward explain to you what we're doing here. This is a bit different than any of the other Radical series that you've seen or maybe watched some of their races. These guys are doing something new and creative, and I think it's really cool. So let's take a look at it and let Edward tell you what's going on.
Yeah, I believe we've got a special graphic that does explain it a little bit better. There we go. We'll just pop it right on. No fancy transition. As you can see, Battle of the Radicals. So some of the field you will notice will be driving the SR10. And we, of course, know what the SR10 looks like. It is the one just slightly shorter, slightly stocky. I think it's the one with the pointier nose as well. 420 brake horsepower, 725 kilograms though. So it is significantly heavier than the SR8, the older car, with less brake horsepower, of course, 340 to its name, but 650 kilograms, of course, of weight. So it is, as I say, significantly lighter. That's the one with a much lower line nose, the much more distinctive one. You'll recognize the SR8. It's been through many different iterations, but it also is won at Pikes Peak as well in 2015, among other accolades to its name, for the Peterborough based manufacturer in the north of England. So it's technically a multi-class championship between the SR8s and the SR10s. It takes place, as you know, every Thursday at 7:15 UK time, although it is actually 9:15 now, so I think that might be a little bit misleading. Must be the old graphic. They forgot about daylight savings.
Well, that's probably when no, I think that's probably when the session started for practice and stuff, so they could come in and practice. I see. But the trick here is that it's multi-class racing, but there's not two different classes. They have balanced these cars to where they're both racing in the same class, together, and so there's no winner for the SR8s and a winner for the SR10s. The way they've got these cars balanced, either car is capable of running together and winning, so that's kind of cool and different. I've never seen anybody do that with any series, so I think that is super neat. And then, of course,
it makes it easier for us to keep track of.
It does.
Because we haven't got to think about
rookies,
the juniors, and all the rest of it. It's
that's
the winner
true.
On the day is the winner.
That's right. Amateurs, rookies, pro-ams, and of course, you see we got just a couple of minutes of qualifying left here. You see our graphic up there as far as the series format. You can go ahead and kind of explain to them what we're doing there with the sprint and the feature.
Okay, so 10 minutes of qualifying. We've got a minute left of qualifying, followed by our sprint race, which is 15 minutes, and then the feature race, which is 25 minutes. You can see it's a reverse grid top 10 of the finishing order from the sprint race as well. So that will be interesting to see some of our faster drivers and them make their way through the pack at Mosport. We, of course, have got 12 races across the season, so there'll be another 11 after this one, taking place, of course, each week, as we look at who on earth is this behind those headlights there. That wouldn't happen to be Simon Edwards, would it? It
is indeed Simon Edwards' headlights. You can tell because his blur more, because he's always going the fastest. So for those of you that don't follow Radical Racing, Simon is incredibly fast and incredibly consistent, as qualifying just coming to an end now, so we should be that's dark.
There we go. Pitch black.
It is pitch black. It's like I don't have any there's nothing out there that
you sure the game's still on? There we go.
All right,
we're bright white headlights roaring into life there. But of course, it will be Simon Edwards on pole position after a fantastic qualify. Was that 1:11 that we saw him set there? So we should be expecting similar heroics, as you say, from Simon Edwards come the race. But we have got a pretty tightly packed grid. I think there's not going to be a whole lot of time to go through it, but we'll very quickly try and get you through now. It's Simon Edwards and then Finland's Sauli Raitanen on the front row. Mike Buson and Bruno Vittorino make up row 2. Luke Crowley and Jamie Bird are on row 3. The row 4 is Paul Crabb and Lucas Nielsen. David Rolston and Paul LeMay on row 5. Phil Glover, Heinz Braun on row 6. Ewan Stitchbury and Federico Casasa on row 7. Colin Wynn and Robert Woodward on row 8. And finally, Stephen Mellis and Graham Matthew make up row 9. And that is all 18 drivers taking part today. So, of course, lots of teams, lots of different affiliations there. But it's really every single driver for themselves then. As, of course, a fairly fast first corner. Your first proper braking point is going to be in Clayton when we get to turn 2. The left-hander, of course, but it's a right-hander into turn on. You can see the lights coming on now for this first race of the new season. Can Simon Edwards make the best getaway as we see the race roar into life? And Federico Casasa, I think, has already hit trouble and had to retire before they even get to turn 1. But Simon Edwards immediately gets the inside, and Rattanen and Buson are going side by side on the run towards Clayton, that left-hander. There we go. Now downhill into Quebec, which is the right-hander, sort of half hairpin of turn 3. A little dive from Buson as he gets past Raitanen into Quebec there, and that's crucial for him, the man in the white Radical, the white and red one with the British flag on the side.
Yeah, this ought to be nice and challenging for you. You don't know these guys, and you just had learned their liveries during qualifying, and now you can't see them.
Exactly, yes. But there we go. The order then is Edwards, Buson, Reitinen, Vittorino, Bird. Crowley's Reitinen is immediately past Buson on down the Mario Andretti straightaway on the exit out of Moss. You see Luke Crowley under attack from Jamie Bird as they go side by side. Can Crowley hold on the inside in the blue and yellow Radical? Yes, he can. And now they're going through the S's then towards the end of the lap into whites, which is the final corner, the right-hander. And now they complete the first lap. Their heat number 1 with, of course, 17 minutes left on the clock, or 16, I should say, having completed the first minute. And Edwards is already a second ahead of Reitinen as him and Buson continue to contest second position. Vittorino is fourth. Luke Crowley, very, very wide from Buson. And is Buson going to lose to Vittorino? I think that's actually, Crowley and Bird.
I think it was Crowley, yeah.
Trading mistakes. Yes, so there we go. I think Luke Crowley's lost a position to Jamie Bird then in all of that. Or was that Vittorino? Sorry.
That might have been. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough with these guys. It's first week doing the series, and the dark. It makes it a little bit tougher to figure out who's doing that. But Buson and I'm going to struggle with his name all year. Say it for me one time.
Reitinen.
Oh, think Raikkonen. Yes, Reitinen. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to struggle with that all year.
Oh, and there we go. A little bit of movement from Jamie Bird. This time he's up the inside, but Vittorino is holding him up in that number 17, and that's going to allow Crowley and Paul Crabb to get involved. Paul Crabb in the Jaguar liveried, the sort of 1980s Jaguar liveried Radical there, as we see the JPB of Jamie Bird up the inside into turn 1. Can Bird get up into 4th position? Bruno Vittorino is still there on the outside. Now here comes Luke Crowley back up the inside then. Through Clayton and Quebec. So a really, really exciting fight for 4th position here. Look at Paul Crabb at the back of this getting involved as well. You can see in that black and yellow Radical trying to size up Jamie Bird and the likes of Luke Crowley and Bruno Vittorino but Mike Buson now 4 seconds ahead of this lot.
Yeah, so Crabb should be in a Castrol. I thought
that's it, yes.
Oh, Crab drives the Jaguar livery, and it's Hines that drives the black and yellow car, I believe. I know about half these guys in there. Yeah, so
black and red, yes.
Black and red, yes.
Yellow tires, as we see around the outside. That was a bold move from Heinz Braun, and
it was indeed.
Mario Andretti straight away into the S's there. So the Herzog Motorsport driver up into 7th position, and Crabb is demoted, at least for the time being. But Paul Crabb gets alongside, tries to get back up into 7th position, dikes out late to the right-hand side into turn 1. They're still side by side, and really, really wide from Heinz Braun.
Wow, he just passed.
And the bravery to get
he just passed Paul Crabb in the grass.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he wasn't backing out of that one in a hurry, was he? And look behind, David Rolliston is starting to get up the inside of Crabb as well here. But look up just ahead of him, Vittorino, Crowley, and Bird are still right together in that fight for 4th position as Rolliston passes Crabb for 8th now.
So my question is, would that be a penalty?
I think he had 2 wheels on the car. I think they might just let that one go there because they're still just out on the curb. As we see Vittorino losing a place to Luke Crowley. So Vittorino has hit trouble. There he is in the black car in the middle of the night. So difficult to see him at all without those headlights. But around the outside defends Luke Crowley. And that's crucial for Luke to get up into that 4th position because look at the leaders, 5 seconds ahead. Buson, Reitinen and Edwards. But Reitinen has actually started to match the lap times of Edwards. The gap 1.8 seconds. So Edwards isn't exactly pulling away second per lap here, but he has got Mike Buson pushing him every step of the way here. So Reitinen, the Finn, has got to keep it together here. He can't just focus on hot lapping. Because he could well lose second position to Mike Buson if he leaves the door open for him at any point. Here's Jamie Bird now passes Vittorino, so the Brazilian in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, this is, I mean, I say that. You're starting to find some guys that are finding their rhythm and their pace, and they're starting to move up a little bit here as things shift around. I have to say, right now, I don't know him. But he's flying right now because Buson's a pretty fast driver, and Busan's doing everything he can to keep up with him. I tell you what, this racing in the lights is tricky because Busan's car appears to be white until you get right up on it, and we know that it's like basically red, white, and blue in a British livery on there and all of that. That makes it even tougher just because it looks completely white right there, but it's not. See? Yeah, that's tough.
It's because there's no headlights shining on that particular car. It's only right in it that we can see clearly there. So yeah, it's just the reflections working overtime. It's all very close on the inside curve there, coming out of that must be out of Clayton and now into Quebec they go.
Boy, he dove it up in there on the brakes, didn't he?
He has. Heinz Braun has set the fastest lap there. He's 1 minute 12.260. Only slightly quicker than Simon Edwards though. But yeah, Busan, you can tell here, starting to get just a little bit impatient. Here's Reitinen wide through Moss.
I have to say, Heinz Braun setting fastest lap of the race in 7th place when Simon Edwards is out there running in clean air all by himself. That's impressive. I mean, he may have gotten a little
He's getting a bit of slipstream.
Yeah, exactly. But still, though. So, real quick, I want to touch on a few things. We're sticking with this action because it's been absolutely so close. But let's do this real quick. So, early in the race, we had one of our. Let me see. So Paul LeMay, right off the bat on lap 1, apparently had an incident. I wanted to see what that was. That's Paul in the center there. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought he was going to hang on to it for a second. So,
there's a bit of contact as well. With, I didn't see what the number was, and now I can't because it's completely dark.
Right.
But yeah, Paul. So that's not a great start for Paul LeMay though, because he said one of the quicker drivers out there. Qualified pretty well as well.
He did. So then,
just a bit of a marginal move into turn 1.
David Rolliston, who we hadn't had the cameras on much so far, had his own incident here. He's in that Tiger Stripe car. I'm not sure what. Oh, he just
too heavy on the loud pedal, and around she goes. So Rolliston rolls around.
Yep.
He's got to get the Tiger pointed the right way again. He is down in 16th position, so there's a place gained for Paul LeMay at least.
He needs to put his
Matthew.
He needs to put his Survivor song on there and Eye of the Tiger and get after it.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
I couldn't help myself. And this is Lucas Nelson, and it's so dark here. This ought to be entertaining.
All right, so Nelson completely on his own. Is the rear wing still on? It's so hard to tell. Here's the little half spin.
Golly,
I think he was struggling.
It is not.
Yeah, I don't see a rear wing.
Yeah. You know, I think he was involved in that Paul LeMay incident maybe early in the race. Was that him?
I think it might have been him, yes. That would add up if he was sent into the barriers, the Norwegian then. So
yes.
He's decided to carry on since then.
So we're back up here.
7 seconds off Federico Casasso. I think missed the start entirely and had to start from the pit lane.
Well, I'm going to jump back here with to this battle for a little bit here where you got Paul Crabb and Stitchbury
and Glover.
Yep.
So we got an Englishman, a Welshman, and an Irishman all in a line here, fighting over position. Sounds
like a joke. They all walked into a bar and what? Oh
yeah,
no!
Here we go. Oh, let's hope it doesn't get too much of a bar brawl here, as Paul Crabb just has to back out at the last minute. So too does Ewan Stitchbury. Stitchbury goes onto the grass. Paul Crabb just follows him out of instinct and gets a face full of grass. As all of this allows Phil Glover to escape up the road as they now go towards the S's at the end of the Mara Andretti straight away, and Paul Crabb backing out there. So Paul Crabb, who's gone backwards in this race, is really struggling just to fight back and regain some ground.
He is indeed. Phil Glover's loving those two battling back there behind him. He's like, y'all keep fighting back there. I'll just separate myself a little bit.
Heinz Braun very close to Bruno Vitorino at the moment as well. While this is going on, there they are, just going through Quebec and onto the sort of back straight that leads towards Moss. There's a sort of left-hander here before that sort of double apex right-hand hairpin. And Heinz Braun still, I think, has the fastest lap of the race to his name, is trying to set Vitorino up. But Vitorino has certainly got things under control, though he has lost a couple of seconds to Jamie Bird. You can just see disappearing into the distance there. They're trying to lap some of the traffic as well. And that is starting to play a bit of a role here as we cut back to Stitchbury waiting for his moment as Braun is past Vitorino, but look at this. Paul Crabb is right behind you and Stitchbury, and he's pulling out to the outside to the S's here, and Stitchbury is positioning his car very, very well to prevent an attack from Crabb there. So he would have had to go the long way around before they get to the sort of main apex of the S's, and that is quite tricky to do then. Yeah, crucially, Heinz Braun up to 6th. He's gained 6 places. He's undoubtedly the biggest gainer. That's going to hold him in good stead come race 2 with the reverse grid. We'll have to do some similar climbing back up the field.
Well, yes, he will. Paul Crabb sitting right now in the pole position spot for race 2. I'm sure he doesn't necessarily want to be in 10th right now, but it certainly bodes well for him. Boy, Vitorino's coming back here. Look at this. He's giving him a run.
Braun is in the heavier car, I think. That looks like the SR10, but Vitorino goes wide at Moss, and that is going to lose him a couple of seconds there. So Braun now can focus on catching up to the back of Jamie Bird as we cut back to the Glover Stitchbury Crabb fight. And I really think Stefan Mellis isn't far off joining it as well, the Belgian in 11th position. So everybody wants to finish in the top 10 here, but look at this. Stitchbury and a real attack as Crabb going around the outside, gets a bit of a tow from Phil Glover. This time tries to duke it out, but again, having to go the long way around. But he dies at the inside for the second part of the S's. That's going to be the outside for the final corner. And this is very, very furious racing between these two. Stitchbury, pulls him in the road, and Crabb is in the wall.
Crabb.
And I think Stitchbury weaved to defend very, very late down the straight there. I think Paul Crabb will feel a little bit hard done by on that one.
Yeah, I think you're right. But let's go back and get a look at that. Let's get the chopper angle on that and see if that's going to give us a better shot here.
See if it can illuminate anything in this darkness. Yeah. Here we go. So they're side by side. It's the final corner. Stitchbury then has to go a little bit wide. Crabb gets a good exit at all.
That was literally the building blocked it right as right as what we needed to see. All right, let's try this angle one more time, because I don't think they touched.
Maybe on board with Crabb.
I think Crabb possibly hit his brakes to keep from hitting him and lost it. But oh no, he got into him.
Tap him
just a little bit, and I think he popped his brakes and he had the wheel turn there. And maybe the brake.
I think he just got caught out as well. He didn't expect Stitchbury to defend back to the middle of the road.
I agree with that. Yeah,
he's going to hold this line. So
okay, so real quick, these two right here, I didn't want to jump away. I wanted to come back. I wanted to stay with this for a second, but I wanted to see that replay. These two right here are going at it.
Is that Crowley lapping someone? Because Bird is about 2.9 seconds behind him, isn't he?
No, that's Bird right there behind him.
Oh, that's my timing screen having frozen up then, so it's completely useless. Yeah, it says Jamie Bird 2.9 seconds interval behind Luke Crowley. So Stitchbury passes Glover for P8. So Ewan Stitchbury, having survived the assault from Paul Crabb, is now on the move. There they are, just cuts across before they get to Moss, and Stitchbury's round. Oh dear, that is 3 positions gone then in quick succession. Through goes Mellis.
Glover held it, but
and Mellis and Glover are side by side. Then you can see
almost
Mellis
3 wide
on
there.
The outside. It is going to be 3 wide here because Colin Wynn fancies a run at both of them, and that is going to allow Phil Glover to hold on. Boost on his pass, Reitinen for P2. By the way, we have got just a few more minutes to go in this race then. I think 3 minutes left on the clock then, and Phil Glover now has got Mellis, Wynn and Stitchbury having spun out of that position. Up the inside goes Stefan Mellis.
Come on, Stefan!
The outside. And they all hit the pit wall, and Phil Glover again just about survives. Stitchbury gets 2 positions back, but it's an absolute mess at the final corner.
Phil Glover must feel like he's riding in a pinball machine out there. The guy's spinning around, hitting him. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's go back and see that Pat.
Is this a yellow flag? Or
no, we just took the checkered flag.
Oh, there we go. We completely missed that.
I thought we were getting another lap though.
Yeah, I thought it was 17 minutes. Yeah,
okay.
That's
there we go.
I did say 15 minutes in the rules, so there we go. Simon Edwards wins, but what a dramatic final lap further back. So I think your final order is going to be Edwards, Buson, Reitinen, and
bring it up right here.
Crowley.
Bring up the results here. I apologize for missing that, folks. I was so hung up on that accident back there that I missed. I thought we had one more lap going. So we
there
got
we go, then. Simon Edwards wins the sprint race by 3.8 seconds over Buson. So Buson, Reitinen fighting each other ended up being to both their detriments, but only 3/10 between them as they crossed the line. Luke Crowley, another 3 seconds back in fourth. Then it was Jamie Bird right behind him, as you say. Heinz Braun in sixth. Bruno Vitorino seventh. Phil Glover eighth. Ewan Stitchbury ninth. Stefan Mellis, despite that big crash, will still come home in 10th with Paul LeMay 11th. Then Graham Matthew 12th, David Rolliston 13th, Colin Wynn also involved in that accident will place 14th, Robert Woodward will finish 15th, Federico Casasa, despite missing the start, will still be 16th, then it'll be Lucas Nilsson and Paul Crabb, both a lap down in the end then. So I think Crabb did retire, so I don't think he will actually get the benefit of the reverse grid. So it should be, if I understand the rules correctly, Lucas Nielsen that will start from reverse grid.
Top 10.
Oh, no, it's reverse top 10.
Sorry, 10.
So Mellis.
Yeah, Mellis is going to be on the pole, which will...
Despite being in the wall.
Yeah, right.
At the end of the race.
Yeah, which that'll show up here. We got a little warm-up period. So, yeah, first of all, I want to apologize for missing that. I was trying to get back real quick and catch that Busan pass and Reiten for that second place. He had stayed behind him the whole race, and you could clearly tell he was waiting for his moment, and he got it, and I just could not get the replay in time. I really thought we had one more lap there. That's unfortunate. And the way the software works is once the race is over and it kicks out, I can't go back and look at replays. I would love to see that pass that Busan, because he'd clearly been there the whole race, waiting, setting him up, trying to find the spot, and then he got it.
The problem is we got bored and started watching other things, didn't we?
Well, that was when we were right in the middle of watching that Stefan Mellis sending it up in there and hitting Phil Glover and then wrecking him. But all right, well, we're good enough here. That's good. So a little short warm-up period. That's nice. Let's do this.
Yeah, won't have long to wait then for our feature race. 25 minutes to come. It'll be Stefan Mellis and Ewan Stitchbury on the front row, Phil Glover and Bruno Vitorino on row 2, Heinz Braun, Jamie Bird on row 3, Luke Crowley and Saul Rattinen on row 4, Mike Buson and our winner from race 1, Simon Edwards, on row 5. Then it'll be Paul LeMay and Graham Matthew on row 6. Paul LeMay looking for a much cleaner race this time around from 11th position. In 13th and 14th for row 7 will be David Rollison and Colin Wynn. Then it'll be Robert Woodward, Federico Casasa, Lucas Nielsen, Paul Crabb bringing up the rear. Crabb will desperately be hoping for better luck this time around as well.
Yes, indeed. Here we go.
Here we go. Oh, perfect timing then as we set up for the 25-minute feature race, and Stefan Mellis is defending the middle of the road into turn 1 with Stitchbury and Vitorino trying to attack, as Vitorino's got a challenge from Braun and Bird behind him as they're almost going to 2 rows as
Mellis
they
is
go towards
off.
Kyton, and Mellis is in the grass. Oh, he's blown it. That's going to put him right to the back of the field behind Paul Crabb then and Lucas Nielsen. So Bruno Vitorino and Heinz Braun take the first 2 positions, with Stitchbury being shuffled down to third. Jamie Bird, Sauli Rattinen and Mike Buson have both made great starts. Bit slower for Simon Edwards, who is still down in 10th position though, David Rolliston having jumped in.
Well, I think he...
Paul LeMay now as well.
I think at this point that he's just staying out of trouble. He's got a decent race here, time-wise, to make that up. So I think that's... ultimately what he's going to try to do. He's just trying to keep his nose clean and not get involved in the first lap mess.
Oh, look at Heinz Braun pulling to the outside. He set the fastest lap in the first race. Can he take the lead? Oh, he hits the back of Bruno Vitorino, and that's another 2 leaders that have eliminated themselves and given themselves a lot of
how
work.
about that rejoin?
Jamie Bird now takes the lead as they all shuffle to just avoid Vitorino and Braun as they rejoin the pack right in front of Mellis. So Jamie Bird now leads from Ewan Stitchbury, Sauli Rattinen, Mike Buson, Phil Glover, Luke Crowley, Simon Edwards is up to 7th, and now we see Heinz Braun and Paul LeMay side by side with Rolliston right behind them as well. And it looks like Heinz Braun has been able to hold on from Paul LeMay here around the outside, or has he? Because LeMay in the red, white and blue is up the inside into Quebec. And now Braun, with the damage from that earlier incident, is going to be at the mercy of David Rolliston.
Yeah, Rolliston is actually behind Braun. It's Braun that's right behind Paul LeMay there in the red and black car, which is quite interesting. Did you notice that we're in the daylight now?
I did, yes, because it's easy to see everyone. Paul Crabb has passed Rolston on the exit there, as now Lucas Nielsen fancies a bit of him too. Lucas Nielsen having a great exit from Moss down the Marangetti straightaway.
Right,
As now we see Paul LeMay still fighting away with Heinz Braun. But here are our leaders then. Bird, Stitchbury, Reitinen, of course, fresh off his third place, is now in third once again with Mike Buson full close company behind him. Then it is Crowley, Glover, Edwards. Whoa, no! And a bit of contact. That's Colin Wynn in trouble.
Did he hit him?
Oh, well, I think the answer is not did he hit him, but where did he hit them?
I don't...
So I think he came together with Matthew Mellis and Casasa. I think all of them hit each other. You're going to try and stitch a sentence together?
Well, I'm lost because there's yeah, I'm shocked, right? I really am. There's nothing that shows that any cars touched there whatsoever. But I swear,
apart from what we just saw there, yeah.
It looked like he touched them, but it went out of camera. But I don't think he did.
Yeah, it must have been very, very light contact, if at all, at the final corner there. But yeah,
right,
Casasa and Wynn swapping positions at the very back of the field. Buson has got the fastest lap.
I'm gonna go back to it right here. So this is Woodward. But then
taps him. He taps Wynn, I think.
Yeah. So what I really want to do is go back and do that same thing again.
Wynn has a little touch with Casasa there as well, for good measure.
So I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna jump over to Wynn's car and stay with Wynn here. Okay, yeah. So there was a little touch there, and that's what I thought. He just barely skimmed Stefan Mellis's car there. Okay. All right.
It's not like Federico Casasa, does it? He hit him twice.
He did hit him
down
twice.
The straight.
Oh.
There was a little love tap at the side.
There was.
We'll move on from that because there's so much else to focus on. Look at Stitchbury. He's really started to rally here and
really
challenge
is.
Jamie Bird. Rattinen has got Mike Buson for close company. Now Luke Crowley has stolen the fastest lap, 1 minute 12.7. Crowley looking to get on the pack of the leader. This has been a fantastic fight for the lead. We have seen, I think, 4 different winners now, 4 different leaders in this race so far.
Yeah, indeed we have.
Stitchbury started second, and then I don't think has held the lead at any point. He's always had somebody else jump in front of him. So the Welshman will be getting a little bit sick of looking at the back of Bird here, as we see Crowley now passing Buson. I think around the outside he goes.
He did, yeah.
That was a very, very solid move. Well set up from Luke Crowley, who's looked the faster. And now that he's not been held up like he was in the sprint race, he is now free to challenge Stitchbury for the podium. But Reitinen has also gotten himself into second position in all of that, much to the frustration of Ewan Stitchbury.
Yeah, I think Stitchbury didn't want to have too much of that. It doesn't look like. I love the fact that we've got
for the time being.
that we've got SR8s and SR10s up there battling each other like they're identical cars. Look at this! Oh,
big dive from Stitchbury, and he sent Rattinen around at Quebec into the wall. And that is going to be costly. I think Rattinen is going to be like, he dive bombed me there.
Well, he definitely hip checked him for sure. If you watch it, I mean, he absolutely slung it in there and hip checked him.
Ooh.
Not as much as I thought. Actually, that might have even been netcode.
Big hit though. The rear wing is gone, and it was ambitious from Stitchbury. He had most of the car alongside, but was he going to make that corner? As we see Paul LeMay falling down a few places. Phil Glover and Heinz Braun pass him.
One more time. See, I think that might have been netcode though. I don't even know if they touched.
Could have been. We'll have to ask Ewan afterwards. Maybe Sawley as well. As we see Phil Glover now dropping positions. Lots of positions. Phil Glover is in the wall at the S's, I think, and maybe out of the race entirely.
Yeah, he might be because it.
Meatball flag showing. So here's Phil. Oh, it just gets too wide and then understeers into the wall. Big hit there.
Yeah, that's tough.
And that's a big shame for the Positivity Racing driver. Not a very positive end to his day.
Well, I tell you what, and he is like literally one of the most positive people ever. He's so much fun to talk to. Paul Crabb's working his way back up here. Just got by Braun.
Yeah, Nielsen and Crabb have been the 2 big gainers. Here's Buson retakes
Crowley. Simon.
Because Crowley losing 2 positions. He's had a terrible exit from, would that be Marangetti straightaway then? Oh no, coming out of Quebec, I think. He had a really bad exit there. And that's allowed Edwards and Buson through. So Edwards now retakes fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 12.3. So Edwards is really starting to find his groove here. and could well still be part of this victory conversation. But look at this, battling ahead of him between Stitchbury and Buson. Buson is trying to go around the outside. Stitchbury defends the inside, but he's got too much overlap as Mike Buson, and Stitchbury has to tuck in back into third place then. So crucial for Buson because he knew that Simon Edwards was catching him.
Exactly.
Very far over the curve.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can't wait around there because Simon's on the way, and I guarantee if Buson, look at Stitchbury going to send it right here on the inside. Oh, nice car control. That was good.
He's not afraid of showing his nose up the inside, but he's on the outside for Quebec this time, but he cuts underneath on exit there. He is not letting Mike Buson pull away, and this is all to the benefit of Jamie Bird, who's 2.5 seconds up the road. They're still side by side as they go to the left hand, and now into Moss. It will be Stitchbury on the inside, and Buson that has to concede on the outside. They're fantastic battling away. Luke Crowley has been able to keep with Simon Edwards in all of this as well. So it's a four-way fight for second position. But look at Jamie Bird in the black and green car, just miles away. Very late to the outside comes Mike Buson.
Oh, look at this for three
wide. Simon Edwards with a brilliant exit is going to just breeze past everybody. Oh, brilliant there. Edwards up to P2.
Gosh,
and that's exactly what we've come to expect from him. He made them all look like they were standing still there down the Marangeli straightaway.
He did indeed. Yeah, that's Simon Edwards right there. Look at Buson here is not playing around. Of course, these guys have a lot of history. They raced a lot of laps in these radicals against each other. So, and Buson's fast, especially if he's got his fans turned on. That's inside joke.
Buson and Stitchbury both in the SR8s as well, whereas Edwards in the SR10, I believe. So this will be interesting then, as they. It's really all about the Marangeli straightaway and into the S's, isn't it? That's the prime overtaking spot as we see Woodward take Heinz Braun and get into the top 10. But Buson through Moss is shadowing Simon Edwards here. So can Edwards, he's actually lost attempt to Jamie Bird while defending on that previous lap. Jamie Bird is just 0.2 quicker last lap as well. So Edwards really needs to break away from the pack, but Stitchbury's going to lose another position because here comes Crowley up into fourth then in the yellow and blue machine.
Boy, Paul LeMay has not had a good night at all. Let's go back and see real quick what happened to him.
Yeah, here he comes. Just looked like the steering failed.
Yeah. Oh, that was
could be a screen freeze or something, but that looked. As we see Stitchbury's in trouble. He's fallen to 11th position and now to 12th. So Ewan Stitchbury, as I think, facing the wrong way down the start-finish straight. So clearly he's lost it out of the final corner.
Yeah, let's see.
That's a big shame. That is thrown away 5th position into the hands of Lucas Nielsen, who's gained 12 places.
Yes.
So here we go. Stitchbury was right behind Crowley. Gets very far over the curb. Just fishtails it and can't save it.
Yep, that's these light cars that sometimes those curbs will really give you fits right there. As we come back,
he's gone off again.
Yeah.
And through goes.
That's Paul LeMay. Yeah, that was
okay. LeMay's a lap down though.
That's LeMay's car for sure. Yeah. All right, let's go back up front up here. Simon is. Buson's not giving up though. Usually, we're used to seeing Simon kind of stretch it out a little bit. But as he is starting to right here, but Buson's hanging with him, and I just have to say for the record, Luke Crowley's staying with him back there as well, and I just want Luke to know that I'm still a believer. It's been a year, but I'm still a believer. He told me that I gave up faith on him one time, so I still believe.
You're not supportive enough to
that's what he accused me of not being a believer anymore because he had a couple of bad races. He said I didn't believe in him anymore.
You should never judge anybody but just a couple of bad races. That's what I always say. This is Paul Crabb, speaking of which, who's had a brilliant race, is now all over the back of Lucas Nielsen in a fight for what is now 5th place. They both gained 12 positions. Somebody wants to gain 13 though, and that is Paul Crabb here, who is certainly having a much better run than he did in the sprint race earlier doors. It helps that he can actually see where he's going now, I guess. As we see.
Somebody's blinking out bad there.
I think that was Robert Woodward.
No, that's
Vittorio.
Bruno here,
Vittorino,
yeah.
so-
Yeah, it's Vittorino. He's blinking out bad. Like that's the kind of blinking that'll get you a packet loss.
Acting up again.
Exactly.
So there you go. Stefan Mellis is fighting away with Graham Matthew as well for P11, but they are a long way down on Heinz Braun in 10th. He's about 9 seconds up the road.
Rattayan is starting to Reiten. I'm never Reitenen. I'll struggle with that all season. I apologize.
Solly Reitenen, yes.
Yes, thank you.
He is lapping in the 1 minute 12.7s, which is,
what is going
exactly
on
what
here?
Bird and Edwards are doing in the lead. So it's a real shame. As we see Buson now is really starting to put the pressure on Simon Edwards. Edwards knows he has got to nail every exit here, or he could be very vulnerable to the team Radline driver behind him. And Mike Buson gets decent exit. He's going to get the toe. There's not a whole lot of dirty air from these radicals, so that will play to his advantage. But look at this. It's almost like Simon Edwards has got the setup nailed in terms of top speed.
Indeed,
and he's got
yeah.
the gap to Bird below 2 seconds now, so he is really starting to catch up, and he's dragging Buson and Crowley with him, interestingly. So even if Edwards breezes past Jamie Bird, the race could well truly be on for second place, even if Edwards' pace is just a little bit too much for him to deal with. Buson was a tenth quicker the previous lap than Edwards, but Edwards sets a 1 minute 12.329, 3/10 faster than Jamie Bird, and a tenth faster than Buson behind him.
Well, Buson is a very smart driver. I jumped back up here thinking that he was trying to fly by Simon or something, but I think Buson knows exactly what they need to do, which is they need to run nose to tail and go get Jamie, and then they can all fight it out a little later in the race. Buson's not the kind of guy that's gonna drag Simon and him both backwards by battling it out when they don't need to. As we saw in the first race, Buson ran in third there, hung in there, and then made his pass for second place right at the end of the race. So I think that's
very patient.
That's probably what's happening here as well. There's another good battle going on right behind him back here with Paul Crabb and Nielsen. I tell you what, I'm struggling with Nielsen's name because in America we have a country music singer named Willie Nelson. I'm sure you probably maybe heard of him, and his son's name is Lucas Nelson, and he's also a singer. And so it's, every time I see it, I want to say Lucas Nelson because of Willie Nelson's son. But anyway,
well, I'm sure Norwegian is going to be flattered by that. But nonetheless, he's more worried about, I think, Paul Crabb. Vittorino is another 8/10 behind. But yeah, Paul Crabb is certainly been a man on a mission in that Jaguar liveried SR8 versus the SR10. But look at this. Again, Paul Crabb is trying to take advantage of how lightweight it is to sort of fly through the corners. But come the straights, I think Nielsen has a small but decisive advantage at sort of top end speed. As you see Crabb again. Inside the helmet. Oh, big mistake! Oh, there was nowhere for Paul Crabb to go. And I think there was a big whack to the front end there, which magically reappears.
It did reappear. That was nice.
Yeah, so Lucas Nielsen.
Yeah, that's
very much throwing away that fifth position there.
Yeah,
Vittorino, I think, has gone through as well. Look at Vittorino around the outside.
Well, I think,
and the Brazilian back into P5.
Crabb's got damage. He nailed him right with his front end. He's got to have some damage. Let's go back and look at that from up here. I mean, you can see he sent it in there, caught that curb, and as right as on the exit, it just come around on him. But unfortunately, Crabb had nowhere to go, and clearly with that level of hit, the front end may have reappeared in the graphics, but in the coding. But I think Crabb has certainly got some damage. Although he's right sticking with. Let's do this. Let's go look in car with Crabb and see what his wheel looks like on the straightaway. It's cocked a little bit.
He's got less downforce. As we see Vittorino.
Long blink. Golly, man, I hate that.
Comes back in.
There's nothing worse than trying to pass a guy who's blinking like that. It's so hard.
It's nothing worse than being disconnected as well.
Well, that's true too.
I feel it from both ends on that front. As we see Paul Crabb hoping that Vittorino doesn't just disappear and then reappear right as he's
I mean, that happens. So that's the thing, it happens. You almost back off
I mean,
from
he's
a
also
guy.
just had with Nielsen, where even with Nielsen not having connection issues, he just dropped it in front of him and he couldn't react in time.
Well, that's true.
So,
yes. Well, Nielsen had connection issues. The problem was his tires weren't connecting to the road anymore there for us.
oh, that's very true. And Nielsen might have had a bit of damage too because David Rolston catching him as well.
Oh, man, Crab was hanging it out right there, huh?
Yeah, really soaring away at the wheel to make sure he didn't lose and fall completely off track there. But yeah, Paul Crab has really got to hold on here, and at least getting a bit of a tow from Vitorino is helping him fight back because Nielsen and Rolliston are not far away in the rearview mirror.
Well, that's the thing. You got Nielsen back there who potentially could have some damage as well. And now you got Rolliston on his tail, which we haven't really talked a lot about him tonight, other than that little spin he had in the first race. But, David's a great driver too, and he's all over the back of Nielsen here.
He certainly is, as we also see Crab lining up Vitorino. Buson has fallen about 6/10 behind Edwards. Simon Edwards continues to close little by little, 10th by 10th on Jamie Bird. It could be very, very close. We've only got about 6 or 7 minutes left in the race then. 18 minutes out of 25 elapsed.
It is 25, right? 25
That's what
minutes.
it says.
The timing shows 32-minute race.
I think that's literally just because they've got a little bit extra because they assumed there'd be like a formation lap or something. Of course, there wasn't. So that's just when they open the server and start setting up the grid, the clock starts counting down, I guess. I guess the other thing that could happen is there could be like loads of yellow flags or a safety car interruption or something. And that might be why they have the limit of 32 minutes. But it does feel, it is really annoying as a commentator because you get completely caught out when the race ends because it's 25 minutes.
That's kind of what I felt in the first race, but I felt like I just missed that. But I feel
they don't care about us.
No,
they don't care about making it easy for us.
If I'm being fair, I know a lot of this came together last minute, and these sessions were probably set up last minute, and it could just be an error in setting up the session, just like one race at night, one race in the day. I don't know if they intended that, if that was just an error.
Maybe this is the morning race.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it was like an endurance deal. One was at night, the next one's in the morning. Speaking of that, let's look at this real quick.
Simon Edwards sets the fastest lap again, 1 minute 12.236. So another 2/10 taken out of Jamie Bird. Jamie Bird is responding really well to the pressure behind him, though.
He is.
He's held on for, I think, a lot longer than some might have anticipated. Mike Buson still within 3/10 actually of Edwards, as we see Paul Crab tucking really close to the back of Vitorino up the inside into Quebec with a little less downforce. He's going to struggle to make that corner, but he is alongside.
He's on it right now.
Yeah, here we go. So it's SR8 versus SR10.
He drove it right.
And Vitorino had to back right off there as Crab went basically up the inside, and that became the outside for Moss there. So absolutely nailing that. And Paul Crab, even with damage to the front of his car, is proving himself to be more than a match for Bruno Vitorino.
Indeed.
And Nilsson, Rolliston, and Woodward are all starting to fight amongst themselves. Woodward, another driver that is gaining ground. But here comes Vitorino. He's got amazing top speed here, and Crab blocks him off into the S's.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, they did a great job balancing these two cars out. And I tell you what, this right here is what Radicals needed. If people find this league and you can drive either car and be competitive in it like that, because there's some people that do not like the SR10, and the SR8 is a free car.
Interrupt, but our lead is all about within a second of each other, and Buson has stolen the fastest lap, 1 minute 12.045.
So I was going to say, I was waiting for Crab and Vitorino to sort that out, but I was going to say, can you hear that in the background? It's the Jaws theme as Simon and Buson are closing on Jamie.
Yeah, here comes Mike Buson then, and he's just been sort of hanging on to the back of Simon Edwards. That very, very impressive pace. We saw him win the sprint race earlier on. Can he win the feature as well? There's just a few short minutes to go. I think 3 minutes left on the clock, so that's going to be about 2, maybe 3 laps here, depending on when they cross the line there, that Jamie Bird has got to hold on but Simon Edwards is going to throw absolutely. The problem for Simon is he's got that distraction of Mike Buson right behind him. So, I mean, he can't focus just on Jamie in front of him.
No, see, I don't. That's one thing I don't think affects Simon as much as it does some people, and I only say that because I've watched him race so much. And at this point, I think he knows right now that Busan is working with him to get to the front. Now it's coming, especially if the time is incorrect on the screen and 25 minutes is going to be the cutoff on this thing. So if that's the case, then it's time to, as they say, as the country boys say, it's time to start making hay. You got to get it done.
Yep, so time rapidly starting to run out in this race. And again, that straight line speed of Simon Edwards.
Oh, here he
coming
comes.
To the fore as he's tucked up right behind Jamie Baird now. And Jamie Baird will never have been more determined to defend like crazy here as we see Simon Edwards going through the final corner. Jamie Baird goes wide over the curb and onto the grass. That's a terrible exit, and this could be the opportunity for Edwards. But again, he thinks better of it, decides not to do a sort of kamikaze dive into the first corner, and decides to wait by this time. Through Clayton they come, and then into Quebec. The best opportunity is going to be to try and set up the move on the exit of the Moss double right-hander, isn't it? And look at this Buson weaving around to the outside to try and get the best exit here, to try and slot his way into second position here. I think they all know as the closer they get to final lap, the less likely that truce between Buson and Edwards is going to hold.
Yeah, no, I think at this point that's over. And Simon had to get on the brakes a little bit there when Jamie ran off. Look at this. Oh, he's practically bumped drafting him there. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely seems that way. And now Simon Edwards gets up to full speed, starts to pull away again, but that's a crucial opportunity gone. And Jamie Baird knows he's really got to defend for, I think, one more lap here. We're about to start what should be the final lap of the race if it's a 25-minute encounter.
Right. I've watched a lot of these guys race a lot. I do a lot of radicals. I love the radicals, and I love these guys that race them. Jamie has gotten very fast in the last year or so. Because he's racing with some really fast guys. Simon Edwards is incredibly fast, and so is Buson.
And that's it. That was the final lap then. So Jamie Baird did hold on.
We're not even at 25 minutes yet.
No, there we go. Yeah, exactly. So they decided to end it a lap early after 21 laps. So there you go. The order is Jamie Baird beats Simon Edwards and Mike Booth. It's a shame we didn't have another lap there. I think that would have been spectacular. But nonetheless, Crowley's going to take fourth behind them. Then it will be Crab, Vitorino, Nielsen, Rolliston, Woodward, and Rattinen has just beaten Mellis to get into the top 10 at the end. There's a good recovery from Sawley after being basically attacked on the first lap there. That could have been a much better result for him.
Yeah, indeed. Well, we definitely have got to sort this timing out for sure. That's really hard as a commentator when you have absolutely no clue when the race is going to end. I thought for sure, again, we had one more lap there. Interesting.
It's not the most helpful when it's a timed format and they don't actually show how much time is remaining in the race.
Again, we've had some great racing, but I tell you what, if we'd have had that last lap like we should have had, because we weren't at 25 minutes when they were at the finish line, we were going to have a hell of a last lap there with Buson, Edwards, and Jamie.
Well, I tell you who doesn't care one bit.
I guarantee Jamie,
because that's one lap he doesn't have to
exactly. He's thrilled. All right, let's see. Let's get our race results up here. Then
and he so nearly blew it on the penultimate lap when he went wide there. That
he did indeed.
Could have been. And I always wonder if maybe Simon Edwards is regretting not going for that now. But there you go. Confirmation then. Jamie Baird wins by 0.4 of a second from Simon. It's a fantastic defensive drive after taking the lead early doors. There were 4 different leaders in the first 2 laps, and Jamie Baird was the one that held on from Edwards. Then it was Mike Buson right behind in 3rd. Luke Crowley a couple of seconds adrift in 4th, but nonetheless a strong performance from Luke. Paul Crabb fought his way up to 5th despite hitting the back of Nielsen. Then it was Vitorino in 6th, Nielsen surviving to 7th, Rolliston 8th, Woodward in 9th, and Sawley Rattinen recovering a lot of ground to beat Stefan Mellis to 10th on the final lap. Heinz Braun was 12th, a lot of damage for him. Then it was Graham Matthew 13th, Colin Wynn 14th, Federico Casasa in 15th, Phil Glover 16th, but sadly laps down and not classified as finishers were Ewan Stitchbury, who crashed out sadly while fighting in the top 4, and Paul LeMay, who had a whole day to forget, really.
Yeah, this was not the best day for him for sure. Well, yeah, let's we got Luke Crowley in the interview room already, our 4th place finisher.
He's keen to talk to you again, Jim.
Yeah, well, I'm certainly going to remind him that I'm a believer, so let's drag him in here. Sure. All right, there you go.
So joining us now is Luke Crowley, fresh off of finishing in, I think that was 4th in both races, if I'm not mistaken, Luke. Well done. That was a really strong performance overall.
Yeah, thanks. It was really good fun as well. Really enjoyed that. I tell you what, for 4th place, I'd do that again.
Right.
Really good fun.
So, Luke, I have to say right off the bat, I'm still a believer. Don't.
And so you should be, Jim.
That's right. That's right.
Well, showing footage of
him wrecking. He's not wrecking.
Yeah.
He's just taking a wide run to make a pass there. That's all. He just used a lot.
That's it. Yeah.
He used all the track plus a little bit there. But no. So what do you think? Talk to me about this series. I personally was, well, to be honest, it all came together so last minute. I wasn't even sure. I thought there was going to be 2 classes out there running, and then of course I found out no, they've balanced the cars out, which I was skeptical, but I know when you got guys like Simon and you and some really guys who can put down consistently good laps, it's certainly possible to get them really equally balanced. And man, did they! This was fantastic.
No, it was absolutely brilliant. I'd call me pleasantly surprised by the BOP here. I thought one of the cars was going to disappear off, but
right.
No, fantastic work by the guys that have done the BOP for this week. It was brilliant, really good fun. That initial sprint where I had Jamie basically up my bum for the entire sprint was fantastic. Great racing. Slight aside there, the SR8 headlights are a bit too far down, so when he's right up behind me, I can't actually see him in the dark, so it was really unnerving. Very strange experience, but a really good fun race.
In sim, were the times correct for you guys? Because like when you were, did you know the race was ending when it ended just now?
Yes.
Okay, because see, on our stuff, Jamie crossed the line under 25 minutes. So we thought we were going to have
4.5 minutes.
Yeah, so we thought we were going to get one more lap, which would have been phenomenal because you had Simon and Mike right there behind him. They closed up to literally within a tenth or two, and you were lurking back there, a second or so behind at that point as well. So we thought when they started battling, you could even pull yourself up there into the mix, but I guess that was an issue with timing between iRacing and our software because both races ended at a weird time and we didn't even know they were ending. Like we certainly thought we had another lap there.
No, I believe rather than it being on time, it's been done on number of laps.
Oh.
So it was the feature was a 20-lap race, and that last one was the 20th lap. Obviously.
Well, there you go. Okay, so yes. So we'll make some adjustments to our software then for the next races, and we'll get that sorted out. But it's
all your fault in the end.
Yeah, I bet that was really annoying for you as well.
It was hard.
Point where you're like, it's going to get exciting, and then it's just over.
Right. Yeah. No, exactly. I mean, we thought we were fixing to have a banger of a last lap right there. All three of them right on top of each other, and you're a second back when they start battling. Here you come, and then it's like, there's the checkered flag. What a bummer. But yeah, we'll get that sorted. Again, all this came together so last minute. We literally weren't sure if we were broadcasting this until Tuesday. So it's it came down to that. But I will say this before I move on. Good to be back with you guys. I love you guys. I love radicals. I love radical racing, and I love the guys who race radicals. And I even believe in some of them.
Okay. Jim, with all due respect, it's Luke being interviewed here, isn't it?
It's fine. I'm always good for a good chin wag with Jim.
No, yeah,
But
we go way back, and it's good to, I'm glad to see you guys back. I'm looking forward to this season. But you got anybody you want to shout out to before I let you go?
shout out to Mr. Bird for that great win in the feature there. He ran away with that, and for that great battle that we had in the sprint as well. Really, really good. And shout out to all the new guys as well. SR8 drivers, everybody. Really, really fun. Really looking forward to this season.
Yeah, this is going to be a great season. All right, buddy. I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
All right, man.
Right, shall we drag in Jamie Bird next, come to think of it? Because he's also waiting to talk to us very excitedly after 5th and 1st in the sprint and feature, respectively.
There he is.
Jamie Bird joins us now. And first off, Jamie, congratulations. That was a brilliant defensive drive in the feature race. We weren't quite sure how many laps the race actually was going to be because we were told it was just going to be 25 minutes. So it ended at like 24 and a half minutes. So such was your pace, the race ended unexpectedly early and caught me and Jim out. So well done on that, not least of all, but also sustaining a lot of pressure from Simon Edwards and, of course, Mike Bousson as well in those closing stages. So they were a little bit quicker, but not quick enough. What a fabulous drive. Well done.
Thank you, Ed. Yeah, it was good. Because of the way the multi-class works, crew chief was only giving me the gap to Mike. So I only had a chance to dart and look at F3 on the straight. So
is that why you went wide at the final corner on that white flag lap?
It was. But I could. Simon is obviously anyone who knows this league and others knows that Simon is super fast. So it was only a matter of time before he was on the back of me. And I thought, will he get to me on lap 19 or lap 20? And turns out it was round about there anyway. And I'm just watching the replay on TV, exactly where I ran wide. I didn't realize I ran wide, quite as wide as that. But
it always looks more dramatic from the outside. Don't worry.
That's it. But no, it was good stuff. It kept me honest. That's for sure.
So
and describe to us that first lap as well, where I think there were 3 different leaders ahead of you that all crashed into one another.
Yeah, the seas parted. The 2 guys in front in the SR10s did synchronized spinning into a couple of corners from the end, and somebody else did the same. So there's no skill from me to get to the front. It was just about trying to keep it there afterwards.
So, Jim, do you have any questions?
Yeah, so Jamie, it's obviously you and I have a history between these multiple different leagues and stuff like that. First of all, tell me your opinion about what you thought these 2 cars running together and racing against each other. What did you think it was going to be like coming in? And then after you got in here and did it, what's your opinion? So I'd love to hear that.
We did one race probably 2 or 3 years ago, just as a tryout when the SR10 came out, and obviously the physics have changed a lot since then, as you know, Jim. And it felt pretty good, but so I was trying to remember what that was like. And then we did a couple of test races last season. Going into that, I thought it would be quite good, but I did actually come away a bit deflated because I had to run 0 downforce to try and stay with the SR10s, and it was at Interlagos, and I ended up forcing myself into dive bombs to try and outbrake the SR10s because they were pulling away nearly the end of the straight. So I didn't come into this thinking that it would be the most incident-free race. And of course, I've only seen what I've seen at the front. I heard a couple of things happening behind, but the racing was better than I thought, especially race 1 with the added challenge of driving at night as well.
Yeah, I mean, so my opinion is I thought it was phenomenal. I never expected that these 2 cars could race that competitively with each other. Whoever balanced them out did a great job. So I am so excited for this season, and I hope each and every driver who's in this series tells a friend how amazing this is. Hey, come drive the car you like, since there's both of them. And, it should be great. And I do want to say this to you real quick, because, I've covered a lot of races, and I've talked about how much faster you've gotten, but you're still letting little mistakes creep in here and there. And I've been I wouldn't say critical, but I think it was fair and honest what I've said. I do have to say tonight was very impressive, and even though you knew Simon was coming, you did a great job there, and it's really nice to see you take that next step. I mean, you've had plenty of wins, along the way and stuff, but having a thoroughbred like Simon flying up behind you like that is one of those situations where you can make a mistake, and you didn't. And I think that's a big step in your growth in racing with these aliens that you race around on a regular basis.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. Yeah, you've been spot on with your assessment of me in the past. I still am up and down, depending on what. I'm always in the same mood, but it's sometimes the talent is there, sometimes the talent is not. But yeah, thank you. It's been good fun. I hope to keep it the same way for the future.
All right, buddy. Well, it's good to talk to you again, and great to see you get a win over here and show them what those SR8s can do. That was good fun. So, you got anybody you want to shout out to while we got you in here?
Yeah, a couple of guys. Simon, for as Ed was saying about the you were saying about the balancing the cars. Simon's done loads of work in the background, get the balance of performance right between these two. And shout out to Luke as well, Luke Crowley. We had a great race in race 1, side by side for a few corners in one of the laps as well. Yeah.
So, all right, buddy. It's I'm sure we're going to talk to you plenty more this season. I love what you did here today. So we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Cheers, Jim. Thanks.
All
Ed.
right, buddy.
Yeah, I love the JPB livery, by the way.
Oh, that's actually his livery, though. It's Jamie.
Not us. It's coincidental, but it still works.
I said that too. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. He's got a JP Broadcasting logo on his car, and James is like,
free advertising. Don't look
free.
gift horse in the mouth.
It is
gift radical.
Yeah, I'd love to be paid by James, but
so would I. I would love to be paid by James. Are you kidding me? All right, buddy.
Maybe we shouldn't air our dirty laundry in public.
No. James pays very fairly. I will say that. So there you go. All right, buddy. Talk to you later.
He does.
Thanks, guys.
So, shall we get a speaker, Simon Edwards? Shall we drag him in? I think
absolutely. Here we go.
So, Simon Edwards joins us now, having won the sprint race, but just pipped by the man we were just talking to, Jamie Bird, in the feature. Simon, it was a very, very strong debut. You were probably one of the fastest out there, unquestionably. But there's that little bit. There was a penultimate white flag lap where Jamie went a little bit wide out the final corner and struggled for the control. Were you thinking about a risky dive into the first corner? Because me and Jim assumed that it wasn't. We didn't see the white flag, so we didn't know it was the last lap essentially. So did you think you'd get another chance to get him, or did you just think, all right, second is still a good result here?
I thought all of those things. So
very quickly, my friend.
Yeah, I saw him go wide. I thought I can nip in here, and then I'm thinking, no, I can get him on the straight because I'll be so close. And then when I got to T2, I saw Mike had got to the inside of me, so I had to go a bit wide, and I just lost just enough to not get back to him out of Moss. So should I have done it? I don't know, because we're in 2 classes, so I've still won the class. So so I thought, no, it's all right. I'm not mad. But yeah, I was going, but I thought of the sci-fi thing of I was going to tell Jamie I'm dragging mines behind me.
Well, that's certainly. If I were Mike Buson, I'd be a bit offended being referred to as a mine, but never mind.
Oh, hey, there's plenty of times that it's like dragging an anvil with Mike Buson behind you, especially if he's got his fans on. He gets dangerous. Another story.
Yeah, he certainly didn't make it easy for you, did he, Simon?
No, he had he put a high downforce setup on, and he was pretty quick with it, and then he could stay in the toe much better. And then Jamie used my setup that I posted and says, "Try this low downforce setup for the 8." So I need to clobber that setup now.
So real quick, Simon, I have to say I was skeptical about what I thought these 2 cars were going to be like racing each other, and I understand that you played a big part in doing the balance on these 2 cars. I want to tell you that you did a phenomenal job, and this ultimately should be the way iRacing races these two cars. It would bring a lot of life to the Radicals. One's a free car, so if people want to get involved, they can come run the free car. If you want to drive the higher horsepower car, so be it, you know. But what a great job you did in balancing these cars out, and it was a lot of fun, and I think it's going to be a great season, and it's really cool and really different. I love it.
All right, thank you. Paul LeMay helped with the balance as well.
Well, he's another good one, so that's not surprising.
Yeah, we'll see at Silverstone, because Silverstone's obviously a high-speed circuit, but it's also a high downforce circuit. But we're running the historic, so there's not much stopping.
Right.
So we're going to see the SR8. I did a quick test of it. The SR8 is significantly faster over a lap. But obviously I've got to balance it so that the 10 can't just get in front of it and hold it up. So hopefully we can do that, and it'll be just as good a race for everybody.
Well, I tell you what, you did a fantastic job for this one, man. They were swapping spots back and forth between cars. It was so much fun, good fun. So I'm sure you got somebody you want to shout out to since we got you in here.
Well, I think I'll shout out to all the returners. So we saw David in, we've seen Graham in. Obviously, Phil's back because he injured his arm at the end of last year. And Paul Crabb and all the people I'm missing out here, and all the new guys, Sully. Who else did we get in? And we got Hines and somebody else. Lucas, is it? Lucas, yeah.
Yes.
So all those guys.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, it's great to see 18 Radicals on the track too. That's if we can keep that kind of car count or make it grow a little bit, this is going to be unbelievable. It's going to be so much fun. So
thanks to George as well for screwing up the times. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Yes, thanks, George. And of course, George is another one. We need to thank him for stepping in and taking over. He has done a phenomenal job, and I'm so thrilled to see this series back. And this is a great car count. If we can keep this up, it's going to be so much fun. So I'm sure we'll talk to you soon, buddy. It's always good to talk to you, and thanks for stopping in and chatting with us.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Edward.
No worries, and all the best to you, Simon, for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
So I think we just about got enough time for Phil Glover, who Simon did mention there. Shall we have a quick chat? He did have an amazing day today, but you might have some interesting insights. So let's drag him in.
Phil always has interesting insights.
So here he is now. Phil Glover joins us, having just finished 13th in the feature race. Was it 13th, or was it actually lower than that? It might have actually been lower.
I think it was.
Yeah. Phil, first off, let's focus on the important thing. How's the arm?
The arm's a lot better, actually. Yeah, it's not been too bad. I gave it a good rest. So yeah, seems to be holding up.
We saw a crazy moment in this race, so that's good to hear, where you went straight on and into the wall. Did you just have a screen freeze or something? Because it looked like you weren't really in control at that point.
Yeah, so I run, as Jim will tell you, I run VR, and my G2, Reverb G2 that I normally use has packed in. So I'm on an old G1, and seems to be a bit of a problem with it where it kind of flickers every now and again. So that's not been helping. It certainly didn't help in the dark. But anyway, I wasn't expecting the dark. But anyway, that's another thing.
Neither were we. Yeah.
It brought some of my skills in rallying into play, I think, with that.
You need a co-driver giving you directions.
Yeah, it was fun anyway. So I ended up, I think Paul LeMay was behind me. I think I'd just passed him, and I thought he's going to be in my draft. So I moved across to the right, but I hadn't seen that there's somebody else there. They must have been, I don't know, halfway up my car or something on the right-hand side. So I actually ran into them. So I don't know who it was, but I'll have to apologise. I think they were still all right, but it basically made my car undrivable, so I had to go into the pits. So it was a bit of a shame because I think I don't know what position I was in then, but I'd made a few places up and feeling reasonably comfortable. But the first race was okay. I think I finished 8th, didn't I? Yeah.
You did, yeah, it was top 8 definitely.
Yeah, you had a good run in that first one for sure. So Phil, how do you feel about where we're heading next week?
Silverstone, it's...
Oh, you knew.
Yeah, will you tell James that I actually answered your question?
I will. I was fully expecting you. I was fully expecting you not to know where we were going next week, and I was going to carry on James's tradition. And look, he's not here, and all of a sudden you can answer the question.
Yeah, he'll line out on that one. How do I feel about it? Well, I always find it's a bit open and a bit. I shouldn't say this because I'm British, but I find it a bit open and a bit boring. Did I say it?
You did. You just a national treasure, and you just you just dumped on the national treasure there.
Is it really?
No, I don't know.
It's not like he said the royal family should be abolished or anything like that.
No,
it's not controversial.
He did not. He did not get that controversial.
It's like Silverstone's the only circuit in the UK. We've got Donington.
Plenty brands.
Hatch.
Yeah.
Well, Silverstone was designed for flying airplanes off, wasn't it? So
RRS
it's going to be a bit dull, isn't it?
Well,
really? Having said that, a lot of the tracks are, to be honest.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it's not just a Silverstone issue. All right then.
No.
I assume you like elevation then, Phil, like Mosport.
Yeah, I do. I like Alton's great.
Mosport, I love Alton Park.
I love that. Yeah. I like the shorter, narrower. I mean, I wish we would drive Cadwell Park because that's local to me. That's a great track.
That's a tight little. That'd be a tight little track in these cars, though. I tell you what, I
do racing in real life.
Have you run one of these cars at Knock Hill yet?
Yeah,
that's good.
Quite
that's good fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's John McCutchinson's territory.
That is indeed. Yes, that's a lot of fun too, though. It's a good little track. Thruxton's also a good track in these cars.
Yeah.
So, all right, buddy.
How was the racing for you guys? Good to comment.
Yeah, man. I was shocked.
We ask the questions around here, Phil, but since you ask,
Phil's been doing this longer than me.
I think it was pretty. I think when I could see things in the sprint. There was quite a lot of side by side. There was a big accident towards the end of the sprint, which was a little bit kind of 3 into 1 doesn't go. And then at the start of the feature, there were a couple of accidents that maybe could have been avoided. But yeah, other than that, it was really clean. There was quite a lot of slipstreaming. Everybody racing fairly cleanly and trying to force each other into mistakes. Yeah, it does seem like the SR10 and SR8 are, as Jim has consistently been saying, a lot more closely matched at this circuit than some people were fearing then. So
I think that
we're
a lot of that's
two different
down to
races as well.
Yeah, a lot of that's down to Simon and Paul and George putting in the time to work out those balance of power alterations. So I think it's been fantastic night. It's great to see new people on the grid. It wasn't too chaotic, and it always takes a while for everybody to know the kind of type of driving each people do to make it a little bit safer and be able to push the boundaries. So I'm sure it will, as long as everybody keeps coming, I'm sure it'll be a great season.
And before we let you go, Phil, is there anybody you would like to shout out?
Well, to you guys, but also a big shout out to Simon. He helped me. Well, has been helping me the last two or 3 years now. So, and he gave me some pointers today. So, yeah, shout out to him and the winners, of course.
Yeah, it wasn't just you. He said he was giving a whole setup to Jamie Bird as well, and that he kind of regretted doing that. Anyway, thanks for talking to us, Phil. And
look forward to seeing you next week.
Yep, absolutely.
Cheers, guys.
So,
take care.
So then, with Phil Glover leaving the commentary box, I think that concludes the interviews then. So, Jim, all there's left to do is closing thoughts, and we look ahead, of course, to Silverstone and, of course, the rest of the season.
Yeah, man. I mean, again, my thoughts are apparently it went dark again. I'm not even sure. My closing thoughts are that this was way better than I thought it was going to be. I love the fact that there were 18 cars out here tonight. If half those people could bring a friend, this would arguably be the best SR radical. I mean, best radical racing on iRacing right now. So yeah, let's just keep it going, man. This is great.
Yeah, certainly. I actually didn't go in with any expectations at all, and I thought it was brilliant. I think it's not just the quantity, but also the quality of drivers the series has attracted.
Absolutely,
it's been a big boon. So to conclude, then, congratulations to our winners, Simon Edwards in the sprint race and Jamie Baird in the feature race with a brilliant defensive drive at the end. Thank you very much to everybody for watching. Thank you to you, Jim, for running the broadcast, and thank you to everyone else involved behind the scenes, getting the Radical Race series on the road. So I've been Ed Hunter. Thank you very much for watching, and keep tuning in because you never know, we might be watching you on the track one day soon as well. Bye for now, and thank you very much for watching round 1. Round 2 to come next week.
Cool.